What is a change agent or an agent of change? If I ask you who promotes and enables change in your company or in your organization, who do you think of? In general, a change agent is an individual who promotes and supports a new way of doing something within an organization, from new structures to new procedures or digital transformation. Many times, when people think of change agents, they tend to think of managers or high-ranking executives. But this is not just limited to them. Leaders at any level should lead the change and make it real. A change agent must promote the value of the transformation or change. Also has to formulate how the transformation will happen. And finally, also, it will support and guide the transformation, ensuring that those new procedures, structures, or whatever we are trying to change are implemented as expected. So first, a leader should be a driver of change. We can say that there must be a clear and demonstrable commitment from the top for any change to be successful. As we have said many times before, leaders should be role models. When leaders are not able to show their commitment, leadership will fail, and then the change will not be implemented. Leadership is about providing a clear vision and having the ability to take people with them. Every experience a leader creates, communication they deliver, and action they take will either support or undermine the effort of change. The leadership team must actively manage the process and make sure that it is at the top of every manager's priority list. Many people will look to their leader to understand how the leader feels about the change, and then they will follow the lead. In other words, if you don't like the change yourself and seems negative about it, then it is very likely that the people following you will copy your behavior. Keeping a positive outlook on the change and demonstrating that it will enhance your changes of leader and surviving, then will help you to promote that change. Also, we can say that change agents are people who encourage and promote change in an organization, as we said before, by their impact on processes and people. They may have formal change management role, or may be part of project teams or wider workflow. All this can remind you of transformational leaders. Transformational leaders encourage followers to become part of the overall organization environment and its culture. This means that when a leader empowers his or her team through persuasion and influence, they are helping their coworkers to propose new and controversial ideas without any fear. But also they are promoting them to embrace that change, to make it their own change, and to reduce their resistance to change. A transformational leader always tends to nurture the idea of receptivity to organizational change and transformation, and do not fear those processes. Leadership is a social process where you influence others in order to achieve the goals of the organization. So, leaders are the key members of any company or field because they are the change agents. So, how we can achieve a successful change? Well, we can work on the following. First, by making sure employees have the tools to take advantage of the change. Also, by listening to the employees' concerns and monitoring progress. As we said before, rewarding success and strengths good practices from the team members. And finally, making corrections using feedbacks. And improve the team performance. Providing feedback focused on supporting the desired cultural beliefs and desired outcomes to team members is critical for success, but it goes both ways. Senior leaders must ask the reports, or anyone for the matter, the question, what feedback do you have for me? Leaders must create a cultural supportive of managing up and transparency. We can say that active engagement by leaders encourages active engagement by employees and helps make change reality. Now, we know that leaders can lead the change, and that change must be incorporated into the organizational culture. When speaking, for example, of safety culture or any other cultural changes.